Greetings, everyone. I hope you're having a great night. I kind of like the violin in this Wild Colonials piece. Brings me back to a crazy, sort of decadent summer in New York, running free. But we were talking earlier today about that weird thing I got on my email from the school district coming from the feds. So I thought, you know what, let's dive in. Let's look at their webpage. We'll go back to home. I promise we'll go back to home in a minute. But they had, it's a government webpage about homeless awareness. There's nothing that's going to help the homeless. They just want people to have homeless awareness, okay? And here is where we get into the money part. Posters and brochures. They want you to get posters and brochures. That's the McKinney-Vento, some kind of federal something. And so here you can order posters. There you can order posters. And here we'll go back to the, here we have our awareness. And then this person is a family navigator. And I don't know what navigator means. It's like kind of a new term. Like, I don't know, like, is she a GPS? Like, you know, where does she navigate people to if they aren't actually helping anyone? And Kelsey is an assistant family navigator, so I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure I haven't clicked on this thing yet to see like what they are doing here. Okay, I guess they're talking about, they're letting us have this awareness that it's a reality. And that's about it, you know. Put them in cooking class. I don't know, it's strange. So going back to just even that one page that we had sort of gone to, and then we've got the liaison contact list, and these people are all getting paid a pretty penny, and the list just goes on, and they're, you know, Assistant Director of Prevention and Intervention Services and Student Engagement Services, and I don't know, Community and Family Engagement Manager. You know, Lord knows what any of this homeless liaison, like, sorry, someone's calling me. Okay, homeless liaison. You know, it's just, what are they a liaison for? What do they do, right? It's like there's one that I keep wanting to be doing, which has been something similar to that, where they've got, you know, we're a liaison. It was something called diversion therapy for a Peeping Tom teacher over at Evergreen. Okay, here's a house. We showed this before. It's still for sale, everybody. Here it is. It is a house for sale in Glencoe, Illinois. Here we've got, here's the front. Kind of has a little bit of that mid-century look, doesn't it? And it's there on the Lake Michigan. That's where it is. And you probably wonder, well, why are we going into this whole real estate thing, right? And that has to do with the posters. See, they've got like a little thing down to the beach. And then there's like a nice, neighbors. And a few down, then there's like kind of a bigger beach. Look at that, that's fun. It has kind of almost like a Bev Hills feeling. Look at that, you can see the water out that way. Why are we looking at this? Because, the posters and brochures are where a huge amount of money is. It's like a hidden money. I know there are so many monies that I can't track down, but the wealthiest person I went to school with in high school, hands down, was Jay, and he lived in Glencoe. And this is Glencoe, okay? I mean, there's other places too. If you didn't like that style, there's one. Little bit different, right? Styles. So you've got a lot to choose from here. A lot of just nice places. There's a little kind of castly one. So Glencoe is, oops, this one looks nice. 8 million. All right. Jay's dad had a contract for doing posters and brochures for the government. Okay? And they had that kind of money. I mean, their house for sale isn't in here, but it was every bit as splendid as this one. And there was opium in candy dishes. It was that incredible and wild. So there's a lot of money to be made in the homeless awareness realm. Okay, we just kind of changed gears here. We're in San Diego about, I don't know, it was like 10 or 15 years ago. I was going on a trip to Chiapas, to a revolutionary spot in Mexico. And the leap off point was San Diego. I think his name was Mr. Brown, and he was in charge of everything, shall we say, for this trip. And it was, school buses going down and all of that. So here we are. And he's got a really nice house. He's got, the nice, like, sort of neighborhood in the city up on the hill, a block from a giant park. Bouge, we'll say. He has a bourgeois house in a bourgeois neighborhood with a couple of school buses he just bought in front for his radical activist trip down to Chiapas, Ozempic, and all of these places. So there I am, and I was really kind of like the odd person out in a way. I was with someone who was very aware of all of this stuff, had been part of it forever, but I was new. I didn't know anything. And this man was really nice. I mean, we got there and I saw these people, slaving away, scrubbing the buses down, kind of furrowed brows. You know, nobody was having fun, no sort of sponge fights or anything. But the man was sensitive. I noticed that, and he saw that, you know, that I wasn't sort of part of this, but I was there. And everyone was having to like wait to use the bathroom downstairs in his house. And he tapped me on the shoulder and said, no, you can go upstairs. You can go to the upstairs bathroom. You know, he gave me this kind of special privilege thing. I don't know. Maybe he was trying to get me to drink the Kool-Aid. I don't know. So I went upstairs, and it was like very bouge, very nice, very different than sort of the downstairs activist, you know, coffee, cigarette kind of vibe. But the thing that was most interesting was he had a bookshelf above his bed. And it had all of the activists, you know, all of the Che Guevara, all of the books, except in the very center was the book Justine by the Marquis de Sade. And it was so weird. It was like it was this thing of reality, you know, that kind of appeared. And it was like, what, you know, this is leading to something, that there's this kind of sadistic, you know, was he having fun having these kind of slave kids that were running around washing old school buses and going down on these god-awful trips? I mean, he flew down to meet everyone. He wasn't going to ride on the school bus. Are you kidding, you know? So I wondered about that. And it reminded me of Field McConnell. And I also looked up Adorno and Marquis de Sade, since we're on a Adorno thing. It was like, okay, let's see what Adorno has to say. And he's kind of like all over Marquis de Sade as this, I don't know, this spark in the Age of Enlightenment. So it's like a weird thing. The Franquist school is like all over Marquis de Sade. And why am I showing you Field McConnell? Here, let's find. There's Field McConnell right there. And he was a commercial airline pilot for, I think for United or Northwest, one of them, forever. And he came from a wealthy military family in Hawaii. So here he is, a commercial airline pilot who went to Punahou, which is where Obama went to school. And he had this really like intense, and it was fun because he would talk with this M16, M16, not the cartel, but the British intelligence. And the British intelligence guy was amazing. He would really be good at pulling things out of Field McConnell, because Field McConnell had a sister who worked for Obama. They were like good friends in high school, and then she went and became what she became, and then he kind of hired her, and she worked for Serco, and she was also a war photographer. And this guy had thought, oh, my sister's so brave, she's so amazing, she's like this war photographer. And then he found out later she was part of this kind of twisted, you know, the Adorno, you know, Chromebook of things, and that she actually enjoyed what she was doing on the field. It was, I guess, you know, he said the word, and I remember looking it up. There's a word for people that get like a gratification from photographing people, like, you know, on war fields. It's like totally bizarre beyond belief. So I'm sorry, I just had to look at something a little bit more pleasant for a second. Not that he's fine to look at. So this is just like, yeah, so he ended up kind of doing these deep dives into, you know, kind of the cultural Marxist and these sort of Marquis de Sade part of it that was really weird. And, you know, kind of Hillary Clinton. It got more deep than that, though, with Serco and servers and World Trade Center. You know, kind of just like, I don't know, it was almost all too much. And yet, I don't know, like he just really kind of had something to talk about. So I don't know if this is just totally too weird. And I think I lost some of the Adorno stuff I brought up. I'm sorry about that. But we will kind of look into that. I don't know if it's like the sex and death thing, if it's, it needs to be explored. And we'll look into where Adorno brings this in as well. So thank you for your patience with this. And I don't know, it kind of went back to this in a way. I think I felt that there was something in this kind of weird outreach thing of these, they want to know the stories. You had the woman that was smiling, who's like the navigator, and that nothing is really happening, but people are getting paid a lot. They want to hear the stories. It's creepy. There is something that is pathological and that is too involved in this suffering, right? And look at all of these people, and they're all getting paid a fortune by the state. Assistant Director of Family Engagement, like what do these even mean? Director of Community Connections. I mean, they must just laugh and think it's hilarious that they come up with these names. Coordinator Liaison, right? It's not the coordinator, and they're, okay, here we've got just your, run-of-the-mill social shirker, just on and on and on and on. And what comes of it all? What is it all about? Sorry I lost those ladies. They were kind of funny, that they're just sort of sitting there smiling. We're only on page 1. This thing goes on into eternity. Oh my Lord, wow. And I don't know if I believed in it, these people are helping, but it's just educational advocate for gravity. Okay, I wonder what the gravity thing is, CTE director, community engagement, whatever that means. Whatever that means. But this goes on, I think it had at least 12 pages of just all of this, Becca coordinator. Oh yeah, the Becca laws. So let me know, am I being too hard on them, or am I seeing that they found the money pot, Go print up those posters. That was what they were really pushing, order those posters. And the people selling them, this is their neighborhood. Many blessings, everyone.